Homish and Rashi, the Torah portion, Bamidbar, second reading, short reading, we have the census. All right. We are in chapter 1, verse 20. In yesterday's reading we had Moshe and Aaron and the leaders of the tribes given by name that were to be joining in the count, the census of those that are 20 to 60. Okay, verse number 20. Vayiyu b'nei Ruvain, and it was the tribe of Ruvain, Bechor Yisrael, the firstborn of Israel, Toldai Sam Lemishbechoi Sam, their genealogy, their descendants, to their family, Lebeis Avaisim, to the father's home, B'mitzvah Shemais, the number of individuals, by head count. Kol Zachar. I don't know why it's called a head. We call it a head count. Right? Golgelis is skull. Right.
Just an expression.
Right. Well, this is where the expression comes from. Right. No, but because it was not.
They're counting people.
No, because they're not. They're counting half a shekel.
Oh.
You're giving half a shekel, so it's a coin count, right? From there, we get a head count. Very interesting. Kol Zachar, every male within Esrim Shana from 20 years, V'maylen upwards, Kol Yitzis of all those that go out to the army. All right. Verse number 21. So we got a bunch of verses now with no Rashi, just the counting. Pekudeim Lamate Ruvain, the count, the tally for the tribe of Ruvain, Shisha, Ba'arboyim, 46,000, and 500. The Mati Libnei Shimon, for the sons of Shimon. Toldayisam, Lemishbechaisam, their descendants to their families, according to their families, according to their father's house. The Mizpah Shema is each individual. The Golgar is some very head count. Kol Zochar, every male ben Esrim Shana V'mayla from 20 years and up. Kol Yitzvah that goes out to the army. A lot of repetition over here. Pekudeim, their tally is Amat Shimon for the tribe of Shimon. Tishava Chamishim Elef, 59,000 Shlosh and 300. 24, Livnei God, to the tribe of God. It translates here the tribe of God, right? But the literal translation means the children of, right? The sons of, actually, more precisely.
Every time you say tribal, that is what it means.
Well, they're translating here in the context of it, right? Right. I have a different book over here and it says sons, actually. Just looked over here. It says sons. I'm just giving you that you shouldn't get confused because we use the term mata and it's also translating as tribe, right? Right. And there's two verses for every tribe, and in the first verse it's saying livnei, sons of God, told some their descendants, or also offspring. Another way is to their families, according to their father's home. Each individual name. 20 years and up, those who are going out to the army. 25, their tally, their count is, the Pekudeim is really, in context, it's, we translate as tally over here, but it really means count. The word, the root of the word is more of count, not tally. Okay, Lamate, the Chamisha Arboim 45 Elif, 1,000. The Sheshma is 600 Chamishim and 50. Text 20, verse 26. Livnei Yehuda, the sons of Yehuda, Toldosam, their offspring or their descendants, some to their according to their families, according to their father's home, the number of individual names. From 20 years and upwards, called Yitzhak Pikudehem, their count, Lamata Yehuda. For you see the word Mata, that means tribe. Actually, the word Mata means staff, right? It means staff. Shavit is another word for it. There's two words for tribe. Staff. Right, right, because that's comes from the tree, right? So what is a tribe? A tribe is part of a whole collective, like trees, like branches of a tree, right? Huh? Yeah. Well, no, that's all of Hebrew is based on what is, not. That's what it is. Right? That's what the tribes are. The tribes are branches off a tree. Their father Israel is the tree, and they're the branches off his tree, right? Livnei Yisachar, the sons of Yisachar told us their descendants to their according to their according to their families rather the base of the father's home, the number of individuals, from 20 years and up, goes out to the army. Their count is Amata Yisachar for the tribe of Yisachar, the Chamishim, 54 Elif. Elif means 1,000. Arba Meos and 400. Meos means hundreds. 30. Livnei Zvulun, 2. The sons of Zvulun told us excuse me. My spring allergies are still with us. Okay. Their descendants, according to their families, to their father's home, the individual count by name. 20 years and up, goes to the army, the count for the tribe of Zvulun, Shibim Chamishim, 57 Elef, 1,000, Arba Meos of 432. Livnei Yosef, 2, the sons of Yosef, which are Livnei Ephraim, they're split into 2, remember. 2, the sons of Ephraim told us their descendants, Mishmach according to their family, according to their father's home, and Mitzvah Shemais, the individual count by name, Ibenes, Mishalim, from 20 years and upwards, Kol Yitzhak, all those go to the army. 33, Pekudehim, their count is Amati Ephraim for the tribe of Ephraim, Arboim Melech, 40,000, Mechamish 500. 34, Livnei Menashe, the second son of Yosef, was the sons of Menashe, told us their offspring, to their families, to their according to their father's home. Mitzvah is the count by name. From 20 years and upwards, all those go to the army. Their count, Menashe for the tribe of Menashe, Shnaim. The Ushloishim 32, 1,000, the Umasayim and 200. Livnei Binyamin 2, the sons of Binyamin told us their offspring, Mishpachoisam according to their family, Lebeis according to their father's home, the Mispashemes, the individual name count, the Benis Mishon of Amayla, 20 and upwards, those who go to the army, the Pukudam, the Mate Binyamin. And the count for the tribe of Binyamin, Chamesh Veshleishim, 35, Elef, Arba Meis, and 400. 38 now. Livnei Dan, 2 the sons of Dan told us their offspring, to according to their family, from the base of Isim according to the father's home. And the Meis Bashem Esmi Ben Shana Esmi Shana B'Maila. the individual name count from 20 years and upwards. Kol Yitzvah, those who go to the army, Pikudehem, their count Lamativ Dan for the tribe of Dan, Shnaim V'Shishim. 62,000, a big tribe, Dan. Oshra Meus, if you've been following. So far, the largest. Livnei Asher, the sons of Asher, some of their offspring, some of their family, according to their family, the base of Isaac, according to their father's house. Mizpah Shem was Ben Esim Shana B'Mayla from 20 years and upwards. All those who go to the army, B'Godeham L'Matei Asher, the count for the tribe of Asher, Echad Arbaim 41, 11,000, V'Chamish Meos, and 500. The Bnei Naphtali, the sons of Naphtali, the sons of Shuchat and Vesavesam, they're their descendants, according to the family, according to the father's home. The mitzvah Shem has been ben Esim Shana B'Mayla, Kol Yitzvav for 20 years and up. Call those who go into the army. Pikudehem, their count, the Mativ Naphtali for the tribe of Naphtali. Shloisha Chamishim 53, 11,000, Arba Meos 400. So that was all the 12 tribes. It concludes over here. This is the counting, the tally. Shepokad Moshe Aaron, that they counted Moshe and Aaron, Bnei Israel, and the leaders of Israel. Shemasar Ish, the 12 men, Ish Echad Beisam Hayu, 12 men that were each from the father's house, and the others from. It's interesting why the father's house. There's the tribe. All right, they're representing the tribe. So interesting why it would be stated in such a manner. Because the father's house seemingly was in each tribe, you had different families, right? So I don't get that, right? They were not representing their family, they were representing the tribe, right?
Representing the whole, the global family.
No, they were representing the particular tribe, not the global family. Global family would be then, that's Moshe, that represents all of them. Anyway, whatever. Sorachiyah. Okay. Now the sum total of the tally of a sheish meya is about 600,000 ushloish is alafim and 300,000 mechamish meyas v'chamishim and 550. We're in 47, and the Leviim, the Levites, according to their father's tribe, they were not counted amongst them. They weren't counted. Well, they'll be afterwards. Wait. I think it was 22,000 something. I forgot my count. Everything matters. Of course it matters. But that just doesn't matter right now because we're not doing it now. However, Ismata Levi, the tribe of Levi, Tifgoid, do not count as Bezrei Sham, Sisa B'Seven Israel, and their head count is their head. Don't uplift it, meaning don't count it amongst the Bnei Israel. They have to be separate. Thank you. Okay, 49 in Rashi. But the count of Levi should not count the Levi Kedai, who the go in Shel Mela. The king's legion is worthy. Yos named and Levada be counted by itself. Davar Acher, alternatively, what does it mean? Sof, HaKadosh Baruch Hashem foresaw, Shasida Lamed Gzeira, that there's going to be a decree that will come into effect, Al Kolam, Hanimnim, all those that were counted. The Ben Esrim Shana B'Mayla, from those who were counted for 20 and up. Sheam Musa Bamidbar, that they're all going to die in the desert. Amar Ali Bichlal, the Levi should not be a part of them. If you say Shali, because they're mine. Shalai told Ba'egel, because they did not err with the golden calf. You remember Shemaled, you erred with the golden calf? You remember? You remember that far back?
Sorry?
You remember you aired with the golden calf?
I entered,
Yes.
okay.
You don't remember that
I
far
don't
back,
think I
huh?
did, but it's okay.
Ah, why you're a Levite?
I
Okay.
aired with other things, so.
All right, 50. V'ata and you, Moshe, have kedus a Levim, is a Levite al Mishkan, make charge of the Levites over the Mishkan, ha'idus of testimony, v'al kol kelev and all of its vessels, v'al kol asher lo, v'al asher lo, and everything that pertains to it. Hema Yisu, they will carry it. It's a Mishkan, the tabernacle. V'eskol kelev and all of its vessels, v'hem yishar suhu, and they will serve it. And around the encampment they shall be. The encampment, they shall encamp around the Mishkan. Rashi in 50, you should appoint the Levites Havkid. Should be understood over here. We just had the word. What did we have the word tifkidu? Meant what? Count, right? And now the same word is being used to appoint, right? So we should understand, as Unkla says, money and an appointment, meaning an appointment of authority called over a matter that one is in charge. Like we see in Megillah Esther. So what's the connection between counting, and appointing? Huh? What's the connection? If you're appointed to something, you count. You count. Got it? Okay. 51. And when by the traveling of the Mishkan, they should take it down. Halivim, the Levites. Mishkan, and with the settling of the Mishkan, settling in a place, so they should erect it, put it back together. Halivim, the Levites. And the Zar, the Zar is strange person, meaning a lay person that's not a Levite, non-Levite, in other words, right? Let's see Rashi. So they should take it down. They should be understood. Understand it. Unkelis, yifarkun, dismantle it. Kishaboyim Lisa, because when they come to journey, Bamidbar in the desert, from one journey to the next journey, they would dismantle the Mishkan, and they would erect it and others from its position of being put together. And they would carry it to the place where the cloud would rest, and there they would encamp. And they would set it up there. Ba'azara Korev, and the alien, alien. The Zar is an alien. Here he translates it as a lay person. Okay, for this, in other words, they're alien for this service, right? That's what it means, alien.
Oh, no, stranger. Foreign.
Alien, stranger, foreigner, they're foreign to this service. That's what it means. It's the same idea. Same idea. Same idea. You must, they will be put to death. They shall die. Meaning, b'dei shemayim, from the hand of heaven. In other words, they get early death from the hand of heaven, not by a court of law. So they're not taken to court for this. Okay?
Right.
52. And the Israelites should camp each according to their machana, according to their he translated as troop. That's interesting. Each according to their camp. Yeah.
Looks like each group had a flag.
Yeah, Yishal Diglik is very good. Each person would have their own banner. Exactly. Thank you, Shmuel. Each al digloi, each according to their division. Just like the divisions are arranged by Sefer Zeh in this book. Shvatim, 3 tribes, a whole degel for each division. Right? On 4 sides, you had 3 on each. That's 3 times 4 is 12. And the Levites were in the center. Right? V'aleviim. Oh, there he says it here. Yachnu Sabin the Mishkan. They will travel in the middle, around the Mishkan, Ha'idus of testimony. V'lo yed ketzev, and there will not be a ketzev. Ketzev means wrath. Al Adas ben Israel, over the congregation of the children of Israel. V'shamru is a Levim, and they shall protect the Levites. It's Mishmeres Mishkan Ha'idus, the guarding of the tabernacle of testimony. They have to make sure. Well, let's see Rashi. There won't be any wrath. So if you fulfill my commandments as I tell you to, there won't be any wrath. That if not, there will be. Meaning, what does that mean? If any alien, right, stranger, meaning non-Levite, shall enter Vavaydasamzu in this particular service of the Levites, that's when there'll be a wrath. As we find in the incident of Kerah, but Yatza Ketzev, therefore the wrath has gone out. There's a sikh on the Rebbe. Project look at the sikhas this week on this one. The Yasu and Israel, and they did, the children of Israel, all like all that Hashem had commanded, as Moshe came also, so they did.
Did the Levites did they have a banner as well too?
Good question. Amen. That's a good question. I'm not certain. Somehow I don't think so. Because but I could be, at least I don't remember.
Two.
What?
On the wording of Pasuk to all of the other tribes, stated that it is stated that they had a banner. But
There were 3 tribes together had a banner. The north, south, east, and west.
But it was particularly says, but the Levites. So that but seems as though that there's a difference.
The but was about the counting, no? I don't know. We have to look into it. So it says, let's do this last Rashi, right? That there won't be a wrath if you do my mitzvahs according to what I tell you. If not, then the stranger, non-Levite, enters to in this particular service, then there will be a ketzev, right? So Rashi says this on the words Lo yeketzev al das b'nei Israel, that there won't be wrath upon Hashem about the Jewish people, meaning speaking about the punishment that will befall the Bnei Israel if they do enter into a service that's not theirs, right? As it says, Kol HaKorev Yumas, that anybody comes close will die. But this needs explanation, says the Rebbe. Aha. Look at the verse. The verse says, there's 2 verses over here, 51 and actually 51 to 53. So 51 says that when that the Levites, 51 says that the Levites have to take down the Mishkan, right? And put it back up. And then it says, Kol Azar Karav Yumas, any stranger, any alien will die. Well, that's very clear. What is that speaking about?
Only the Levites can do
That they can be part of the encampment and part of the service, right? So why does the verse have to then come and say that there will be a anger of God, that there won't be an anger of God if you fulfill, right? Isn't that kind of understood? Like, there'll be an anger, you'll die, which is if you don't do what I tell you to. So why does the verse have to continue and say that there won't be a ketzif?
But it's about
won't be
divine
wrath.
wrath.
There won't be wrath,
Community,
right?
community of Israel. In 51, it deals with the wrath of Hashem would be against the individual who approaches.
That's
But
good.
it expands
Yeah.
You say if that is done, the entire community will be affected.
Okay, maybe let's see what. A very good distinction. Furthermore, why does the verse separate between the warnings of the punishment that if you enter that you die, right? And then that's 51. Then it's interrupted by 52 by saying that they encamped the Bnei Israel, each one with their banner, right? And then it goes back to the Levites and doing their job in the Mishkan, and that there won't be any wrath if you keep if the Levites fulfill, make sure that no one comes and does any service. Like, why is the interruption with that verse 52? So Rashi is bothered by this, right? And he answers it by the exacting words by saying, "Im tasu mitzvosai lo yekesem." If you will do as my mitzvahs. What does that mean? If you will do as my mitzvahs, this is in referring to the verse that if you will dwell each division according to their division, right? According to their banner, and the Levites will be in the center. In other words, this is saying that we have to be very careful on the encampment and the separation between the Bnei Israel and the Levites to make sure that there is that clear separation. And therefore, that's what verse 52 is coming to say. Therefore, in connection with this, the verse then comes and says that that the verse coming to say that this separation, and why we have to be so makbid on this, so careful about this separation, is in order that there shouldn't be the wrath of God upon the entire Jewish people. Because if the Levites will not be careful on this separation, right, and there'll be a mixture between the Levites and the Israelites, it's possible that this will in the end create in other words, this is talking about just mixing between each other, not even doing the service. Don't make sure you're making clear boundaries, right? Because that way you won't mix up. Because then what happens if you do mix up? Then someone an alien might go do the service. No, it's a two-step point. Then someone might go do the service, and then that person will die.
So the Levites are supposed to surround the tabernacle on all sides. And if that is done, that would protect a layperson from entering or helping to dismantle the tabernacle. It's in other words, because they surround the tabernacle of Levites, they will in fact prevent anyone from entering into their tabernacle. That's the way I see it.
Now, okay, so you want to hear what the Rebbe is saying? You want to hear what the Rebbe is saying? So the Rebbe is picking up on what you said about the first it's speaking singular, then it's speaking about collective, right? So the Levites have to be careful to make sure that there's a separation, because if there's not a separation, then you get mixed up. That itself creates wrath for the entirety of the Jewish people. But the wrath then could lead that one individual could go and do a service that person alone would have died by the hands of heaven. So there's a wrath and a person dying, two separate things, not the same thing. Right? There's the collective whole. So that's why it separates with the Levites, and their job is to make sure that there is that boundary that's kept. You hear it, Shmuel? Shmuel, you listening?
I do.
To create the boundary, because if they will mix together, right? Not in the service, but just like when they're traveling and they're going and they're just mixing together, they're not staying in their tribe, then that itself creates the wrath of God, because the Levites didn't didn't uphold the division. And at the same time, that will also then lead to someone doing the service. And that individual could lose their lives. All right, amazing. Okay, we'll see you by time.